Today, wild boars are no longer just forest animals. They've become a nightmare in the heart of Georgia. These creatures breed at a pace no one can control. From hiding in the thickets, they now storm into villages and farmlands, leaving destruction everywhere. At first, it was only a few rows of corn torn up. But night after night, they came in greater numbers, fiercer, tearing through the land like a dark flood. Faced with this threat, picking up a gun is no longer about sport. It's a duty to protect the fields, the harvest, and people's very survival. That hunting trip was prepared down to the last detail. The rifles were polished to a shine, every cartridge checked with care. Even the hounds grew restless, as if sensing something big was about to happen. The signs of the herd were everywhere, deep hoofprints sunk into the mud, patches of grass torn apart. The group pressed on toward the cornfield, nerves wound tight. Then suddenly, a massive boar emerged. A gunshot cracked through the air, and the beast dropped instantly. Excitement surged, but everyone knew the real battle had only just begun. The group decided to turn toward the back hill, where rocky ground and thick grass made it the perfect hiding place for wild boars during the day. Just minutes later, a dark shadow darted up the slope. Without hesitation, he raised his rifle, locked onto the target, and pulled the trigger. The shot thundered, the animal took the hit, and its heavy body tumbled down, crushing the grass beneath it. Suddenly, from the opposite hillside, a whole herd of wild boars poured down like a flood, shaking the ground beneath their feet. One hunter held steady, took careful aim, and fired. The first shot dropped a boar, sending the rest into chaos. He managed to squeeze off another round, felling a second, before the herd vanished into the thick trees, leaving behind an eerie, unsettling silence. The group, fired up, charged in the direction the herd had fled. Their footsteps pounded the ground, hearts thundering like war drums. As soon as they entered the forest, they split apart, quietly slipping between the trees. The air grew thick with tension. Everyone knew that somewhere in the underbrush, the enemy was still hiding, alert, watchful, and ready to strike back. After a tense chase, one hunter suddenly spotted a boar crouching in the brush. He stayed silent, waiting for the right moment. Just as the animal turned its head to flee, a gunshot split the air. The bullet struck true, dropping it instantly. Before the dust settled, another boar came charging from a different direction. The hunter stayed calm, held his aim, and fired again. In a matter of seconds, another wild boar lay lifeless on the ground. Nearly an hour later, the group moved down into the lowlands, where the ground was flat and the view stretched wide. It was the perfect terrain for the dogs to work, but it forced the hunters to tread carefully. Few trees meant little cover. Suddenly, a boar burst out from the brush, charging straight ahead. The hunter reacted in an instant, pulled the trigger, and the shot dropped the animal in a cloud of dust. As dusk settled in, the group quietly hid along the edge of the thicket, eyes locked on the darkening stretch ahead. Suddenly, a shadow stirred, emerging in the dim light. The hunter instantly stepped back, keeping a safe distance, and raised his rifle. In that moment, the gunshot thundered through the stillness. The shot was so precise that the beast collapsed on the spot, without the slightest chance to react. After a long, grueling day, with sweat soaking his clothes and his heartbeat still echoing in his chest, the hunter looked back at the outcome: the wild boars brought down, the crops and land secured. He knew this hunt was more than just a pursuit of game, it was a fight to preserve peace and safety for the entire community. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and follow the channel to join us on the next adventures.